I like reading just about like different theories and stuff like that with alien existence. So I wanted to kind of break down a couple with you guys because
Okay.
maybe some you've actually heard of. Some are really like stupidly underground, and it's like they're almost comical. But I'm genuinely interested in getting some of your takes on this. So
Okay, wait, wait,
the
wait.
first,
Before you go into that, Brandon, can I go pee?
so we're back. So I'm gonna, I guess, break some of these down for you. So I'll start with a kind of goofy one. So the theory is of communist aliens. Um, and the idea behind it is that I guess that under the system that we have currently, it is impossible for intelligent life to actually reach like intergalactic travel. So the only way that that could be feasibly possible is under like some sort of communist system. And that most of the aliens that we have ever seen probably operate under these sort of values, and they see like kind of how undeveloped we are, and don't like they're not visiting us or not, I guess, giving us information or anything. Thoughts, anyone?
I'm just trying to process
I
all
was
of
kind
that.
of
Yeah.
well, I was kind of lost in it. Like I think that
Yeah.
um
Well,
I don't know
so
if
okay,
that would
sorry.
be
I'll
it.
break it down a
Like
bit more. I'll break it
no, no,
down a
no, I
bit more.
get what you're
So
saying, man. Like I think
there needs to be a collectivism. Is essentially what this theory is that like you it couldn't that there the theory is that it couldn't possibly be that like a company or something could achieve interstellar space travel or something like that. And I mean the retort to this obviously is the fact that like we have literally been doing this kind of like we're already working towards it under this system. I mean obviously it's not a fucking good system, but the idea that the only way that an alien could exist is if they were communist aliens, I mean, I don't know, seems
yeah,
pretty crazy.
that's the bit. It's the communism bit. Like I get what the point is in the sense that like there has to be a community aspect. That's what's
Mm,
really going to propel us forward, and I buy that entirely. But I don't know if I buy the idea that that's the reason we
that
can't come in
exactly, yeah.
contact with aliens.
And a lot of the whole thing with most of that theory is that there's like almost an intergalactic network that operates under this this whole system,
Oh my
and that
god.
once we like fall in line, we'll be kind of brought in and I don't know, raised up.
Is
Like
it
I
like the
said, these are
Citadel?
crazy,
Like
these are
is this
just
what people
theories.
are
These aren't.
picturing?
Hmm?
The fucking Citadel? Is that what this is?
Dude, I pretty much. I feel like a lot of people are just larping about this stuff.
But isn't that to assume that like aliens or other life forms have the same like
Yes.
principles and like same
Exactly.
like
That is,
Yes.
yup. I'm
mindset as
so glad you
us?
said that. Yup.
That's
Like, because
exactly it.
I don't think
Because
that that's a thing. Like,
well, the other thing is we like to think of the theory in that way is like we're operating under like political systems that we have come up with to structure humans around in different ways. Like we understand what like left and right values are because of like what like human beings have structured their lives around. But
yeah,
like go to like some random planet where like we have no idea that life could even come to be, intelligent life could come to be in that way, where it's like rock people or something like that, or floating boulders. Like we have no idea how that kind of life form would structure its society, you know?
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
mean,
think
like,
it's incomprehensible for a human to
Exactly, yeah.
understand what an alien species is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're acting as if these alien species are exactly like us, but they're just from a
but
different
smarter.
planet.
Yeah, that they have like pretty much human being values that they fall in line with us, and that we can totally understand what's going on in their heads.
Yeah, they probably have a whole different system for measuring everything, bro. Like
Yeah.
they have totally different senses. I don't think that they would be concerned with communism.
No,
maybe
no, or
concerned
well,
with the
how?
fact that we're
I don't.
destroying
I
our
don't think that there
planet.
would be a unifying galactic government that would like govern the galaxy under like communism exclusively. You know,
Yeah.
that's the part that kind of is like wow. But moving on from that one, now let's get a little introspective. So, have you guys heard of the Fermi paradox?
I
No.
haven't.
Okay, so essentially the idea with this one is the fact it's kind of like looking at intelligent life from like the opposite direction. So it's the fact that there's almost like a lack of true, real, hard evidence that extraterrestrial life exists and is intelligent and has visited us, and the almost like the likelihood of the fact that we have been around for so long that we should have observed at least something like that we can say and point to like yes this is 100% intelligent life, um and we have yet to be able to necessarily do that. There's like there isn't one piece of evidence that I could point to you guys right now and say like well this is what proves that intelligent life exists on other planets. So it's because of this that it was a certain scientist, I can't remember his name, but he came to the conclusion that intelligent life is just doomed to destroy itself, and that um, the reason we actually haven't been visited by anything is because at some point, whenever intelligent life grows too far, it eventually just all collapses back in on itself, and everything dies, and the cycle repeats.
I buy that 100%. And I also think too that if there's any society that would have gotten close to that, it would sure as hell not be us. It would have been the Greeks. It would have been the Egyptians. Like the shit that they were doing, the way that their minds thought about what the world was the most pure. Like we're
Well, we've
so
seen our societies destroy itself like over and over, you know? Human life has just been constantly building itself up and then like breaking itself down and redoing it all over again, you know?
I get that point, but I'm saying like if there was a society that is to get close to some great realization about the universe, let's call it that, instead of like contacting aliens, it would have been the Greeks or it would have been the Egyptians. Like, how are we gonna do it? We're so wrapped up in what other people are doing. I'm
Mhm.
on Instagram to see what other human beings are doing, and that's what I wrap my world in. I don't think that I'm gonna be the one that finds out some great realization about the universe by spending all my time on Instagram,
Alien
worried
hunter
about what other
Jesse.
people are doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our
No,
society's
100%.
doomed, man. Like, there's no way we're ever gonna get there, in my opinion, just because we don't have the right values attached to our society, at least Western society, from like our perspective.
I mean, I see us getting there, but whether or not like any of even our kids or their kids actually get to really see what it like the results would be, because the way that I think like when I think about like human beings getting to like intergalactic travel, I imagine like there's one unifying company now that produces literally everything that you consume and that you know, and they're the ones who are building the spaceships, and you probably work for that company to in some way to build that fucking spaceship, and like you get up and you go to work and to do your work or whatever, but like you're building that shit for someone else. Like you're not getting to like actually revel in that kind of stuff because it's just how we've like already structured our society is like that you literally just trade your time for the ability to stick around a little bit longer on the planet, you know?
That's the perfect way to put capitalism.
Pretty much, yeah. Um, but yeah, and then the other one is probably one that I'm assuming you guys already have. Everyone's kind of thought about is the idea of like that when you wake up in the morning and as like a living, breathing adult human being, you don't like think about going outside and like crushing an ant colony. Like that isn't a thought that crosses your mind. Like maybe if you were a kid, but like that isn't even like you don't go out of your
Wait,
way
you guys
to
don't? think that regularly.
Dude, hang on a sec. Hang on. You guys
Let me
don't
let me
just like
take a note.
terrorize bugs all day? But like that's something that you don't go out of your way to do. And in when we're talking about like traveling at the speed of light across the galaxy to visit multiple planets and multiple solar systems at like any given moment that you want, um any society that you saw that was just still dealing with like keeping their planet alive and like figuring out how they're even getting to space, like you would look down at that as if it was just like bugs crawling around, you know? So it's almost like we're not even worth their time.
That's what I was thinking. Because, like, why, if there was a life form, that was smarter than us human beings, why would they waste their time coming here?
Yeah, what do we have? Like that's
Yeah.
the
Like,
it's the trope in like every Hollywood movie is that they have come here for water because they sucked up all the water on their planet and now they're coming to suck ours. Like, okay, why
and
did
then
like
yeah, like again, it's like to assume like they need water like we do. Like
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
Yes.
think that any other life form is like, I could be wrong. Like there might be some that are like similar to humans,
They could be
but
anything. Yeah.
like it's where we I think we like when we talk about this, we assume a couple things. We assume one, that they're similar to us and they communicate in a similar way to us, maybe a different language, I don't know.
But they have
We all
communication skills in some
Yes.
way. They can talk to each other.
Yes, and they like, the most cliche thing you see in the movies is like they have two eyes, they have a nose, they like their body structure is similar to ours.
But like warped.
Yeah, just like yeah, just a little different. But and then we also assume that they're always more intelligent than us.
Hmm.
Ooh.
And
Well, I feel like they would have to be as the assumption because I think that no matter like if an alien race gets to our planet, right? Like they like the big battle star bullshit rolls up on Washington State and is parked there, like laser beams out. I feel like the assumption is they have to be to some degree, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but
I
I
mean in
think,
the sense that, sorry, Jesse, you can go ahead.
well, I was just going to expand on what you were saying cuz like I think you're saying as just an alien species in general. Like if
Yeah.
they don't make contact with us, that's an interesting thought because what if we as humans are the most advanced sentient being in the universe?
It's possible. We genuinely don't know. Yeah.
And these
Yeah, I
alien
mean,
species are just like still in a stage of just, I don't fucking know, like,
Could be cavemen.
yeah, exactly. Like
Their
their version of a
caveman stage,
caveman.
whatever it is, like cave octopus.
That's such
yeah,
a
like I
lonely
think
thought.
we're so quick to assume that like they're like, when we think of aliens, we think of just your basic, like, yeah, they're smarter than us. They, for some reason, they always go to the States. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't waste
Yeah,
their time with
right.
fucking Japan or China
No,
or anything
they
like that.
always go to
They,
the States.
they like look at it. They're just like, man, that spot right there looks really big and important. We're just gonna go
Let's
and
go
fuck
there.
shit up over there.
But I mean, like, just, in the whole universe, I think it's just crazy to think that the one species of another life form that we only kind of associate with is
Mm.
the cliches that we see in movies, or like, whatever. But I just think that like there's so many other life forms on Earth that probably don't even have the same consciousness as that we do. Like they could be more conscious, less conscious. They could
They
be,
don't. They don't
They
have
don't even like think of
consciousness,
things in the
dude.
same way as us. Yeah.
yeah, like it's just like, I
I
don't
like
know.
to like going off of that, like I like to sometimes think of like really absurd um like ways that alien life could kind of exist because like you were mentioning the whole like aliens being smarter than us or like the assumption that they're always smarter than us. And I
Yeah.
guess like to go off of that is like it's always that they roll up and they have like super high tech stuff that also still kind of looks like, and I'm obviously referring to like Hollywood movies here, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like it still kind of looks like it could have been human made, you know, like this maybe like given like another 1,000 years could have occurred on Earth but didn't. But like
Yeah.
we what if there's like county aliens, like where they've just somehow they got weird space magic going on their planet, and they just floated a bunch of wood boards together and blasted their like space pirate ship towards Earth, and they just start shooting fairy dust out of cannons at us. Like, who knows? Like,
Honestly, like
they
it's
don't
just
necessarily actually have to be like smarter than us. They could have just been like literally given or dealt a better hand due to their planet that they like
yeah.
that where their life sprouted from. Oh, you guys got water? Oh, what, you guys didn't get space magic? Oh fuck. Man, you guys are missing out. Look at all this cool shit I can do.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like that the whole concept of aliens is just like we're so limited to like
Mhm.
one idea of things and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why an alien would waste their time on Earth. Like, do we have anything for them?
Probably not.
I, I
Like
I think that's the main breakdown here, where it all circles back to is we have literally nothing to offer anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have water, but if that's what they want, but like half of it's polluted, so do you really want it? Like, I don't know.
hmm Yeah, honestly, they're probably looking down at our water and they're just like, Jesus Christ, they haven't figured out their fucking water situation yet. What are they? What are they, stupid? That's what they run on. Oh my god! Don't waste
Seriously.
your time here, guys. We'll park across the galaxy a little bit.
I had a question for you guys. So I was talking to one of my flatmates about this the other day, but when I was younger, I always had this idea that aliens were like we were just I mean, I didn't have these same thoughts when I was like 10 years old, but I always thought that we were like being controlled by like a higher like form of life. And
Have
we
I
were
got a
like
story
a
for
Sims
you?
game. Like basically like we were in a Sims game. That's kind of it. Like but not
Simulation
the
theory.
like yeah, but like I thought of this when I was like 10. Did you guys think about that stuff when you were little?
I
I
I
think about that
definitely
now.
yeah I,
Are you
I
kidding?
Like
definitely to a degree. I don't know if I necessarily thought that per se,
okay.
but like I did think a lot about like alien life and whatnot. Whether or not I was under the impression that we were like being controlled and whatnot, I don't know about that. But I do have a family member who believes in the lizard people. I don't know if you know what the lizard people are or not.
I have no idea what that is.
So it's a group of conspiracy theory people that believe that there's an underground race of lizard people who have replaced a lot of important people in the world and now kind of run the world in a direction that eventually leads to them being able to take control. Yup. Your silence is
What?
exactly the response that I expected.
I honestly don't know if I could even touch on that with being respectful
It's,
in
I
those
mean,
belief
yeah,
systems.
it's just crazy. It's just like conspiracy shit, basically.
It's so interesting. Conspiracy theories are so interesting because you hear about like the basic ones, but I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Yeah, that's like the deep crazy stuff. It's like I don't know how you even like go down that rabbit hole. That's just a whole giant can of worms to unpack.
Something you said that was interesting there, Ken's, was like it made me think about like us not having control. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's almost like the chicken or the egg debate. Are you making your
Mm-hmm.
decisions or are the decisions being made for you and you're just going along with it for the ride and rationalizing it to yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Like
Like I
everything
was
was like set up for you
not even that.
before.
It's just that like your consciousness is within this being, right?
Yeah.
And this being, it's completely separating the mind from the body basically. This being is going about and living this life and whatever else, and your consciousness has kind of just coped with that and rationalizes what your body is doing as your own thought and your own idea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're
I think
running on autopilot, but you're rationalizing, you're holding the steering wheel, but it's really not steering the car, but you're holding it as if you have control, you know?
I think I had a lot of thoughts like that when I was younger about when after I watched like The Matrix. Like that got me really thinking about like simulation kind of shit, like whether or not I was just like you know what I mean? Like you were just trapped in a little bubble or something that
Mm-hmm.
you didn't really have a control over yourself. I kind of grapple with that concept a little bit now, but to a less degree, obviously.
Oh, for sure.